Alright, YouTube, this is what I know about the Beastie Boys, okay? So what are the Beastie Boys? They're people who do acrobatic lately. They're the ones who created, Brass Monkey, but the Beastie Boys is a thing. It's a club that you go to when you're younger for dancing in order to stay away from, things like, raping your mother, That's why Uncle Tommy had to go to those. He also had to go to the military. The reason why Uncle Tommy had to go to the military was because of the way he did the grandma, alright? Now, and during this situation, alright? I'm confused really, because he put me in a wheelchair, right? If I get to put him in a wheelchair back, because you get mirages of that shit, especially with Alex's uncle. Anyway, what the Beastie Boys are, alright? They're stereotypical for white people, wild people that are stupid, that are born special ed, but there's something special about them, alright? Lately, Beastie Boys is top tier quality where it comes to, flying out the movie. Lately, they know flying out the movie is a thing. In fact, the whole thing I do with Robert Wilson, lately, originated for a Beastie Boy. If you say your white things at the right time in the movie, you're a Beastie Boy, alright? So, anyway, let's get to my character called Freddie Gibson, alright? The one that used to face Uncle Tommy, alright? He is one of the best Beastie Boys of all time. Now, in the movie, what I did for writing, alright? Literally, what I had, him do his set, literally, Uncle David do his set, Saeed do his set, literally, a little bit, lower than mine. Mine was the direct, actually, response to Tommy's, alright? So, in doing so, all right, literally, I had the good movie. Literally, I had people like Shan going around. Mario's in the movie. That was the most thing I was excited about. 28. Doing the whole thing. Literally was literally, I had Chidori Sour. I had half the woman there in the anime. Literally, in the Beast Boy movie called Freddie Gibson: The Untold Story. Well, I split my hair in half for Future Trunks, and Easter egg for the channel. That was based off the top. While I sang a song to Marlene while I was trying out Tyler Perry DVDs. I just got an idea with Sunny. Literally, I split the hair in the middle. So what happened when I had a reality show was because I was in charge of the whole world. Lately, I got this rods, VH1, VHS, that, me and Uncle Tommy did the whole movie. I was the best rapper on the radio. When he was dead, lately, they ruined the relationship. I don't want to say too much, right? Lately, because I was in a masculine position. I was supposed to fuck him up, okay? Now, anyway, and that's also, due to higher female validation, all right? Now, the reason why I love talking about the Beastie Boys, not too much, but for the continuities, because they're the exact thing that I missed out on in rapping, all right? Every Beastie Boy, literally, contrary to your belief, actually looks like Deborah and Cindy, all right? Literally, each and every one is colorful. They each have a mom that goes like this, ha ha ha, over and over again. That's normal shit. That's legit normal shit. Literally, what I knew about their moms is they were applying with style when they were being abused by kids in school. Literally, and what ends up happening is, Beastie Boys are legendary shit, right? Literally, there's this phrase called too much Beastie that I never had a formation. Literally, Shad never too much Beastie. Literally, I know when Beastie's enough, okay? Literally, I can, and turning into Beasties are part of domestic violence. This is why it's corny. It's what we always tell our mom. All right. Now, what ends up happening, right? Literally, is I think Alex's story went like, oh, well, Uncle Larry, he had Beastie Boys Incorporated. Literally, after Uncle Larry said several times they didn't like the Beastie Boys because of what they do to their mother, all right? What he was doing, he had fight just like my Uncle Tommy. And he's like, how does it feel to have Beastie Boy Incorporated? Uncle Tommy just said, company, all right? All right, Tommy speaks of said company, all right? And it was specifically for a race, Funimation, the one that I made, for Christmas Sabbath Short Show. Now, as a gang, as a gorilla, I knew that was what happened when I moved to Rock, because I knew the whole Arrow, the whole anime community where it came to momentum. So I'm like, yeah, well, I have all these times I'm going to drop this, and that. And guess what happened? Literally, in the hood, they put me in the fault when they shouldn't have. Because what happened, literally, is I gave them permission, like control deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! That they can control the situation, like they can kick me out with my mom. But they weren't morally right. So what happened, literally, when we got really, really deep, let's not go there, all right? Because I have amethyst, and never want to compare, my actual cousin to amethyst, all right? Now, what ends up happening, right, is that they had me literally at the GOAT, for a long time. Literally, but now they want something because they didn't know what meant me. You see how the origins of a cartoon, literally how it's way more complex, to be a gangster and an adult, literally, and how you have to be really mature, especially the exodus formation that everybody that made a cartoon got hit by a car. Literally, you fucking literally had to face the mom and did funny ass shit and let the auntie fall. Literally, there was way more than a cartoon than that. Literally, I do that every single fucking time. Literally, so what ends up happening, right? Literally, is the Beastie Boys, right? They fuck up everything because they act like grow to your uncle, literally, and how their imaginary friend goes, literally, is they literally ask them, literally, hey, Harold, do you think it's a little bit too much Beastie? Every fucking time. Literally, that shit used to make me laugh. I was sitting with Vanessa, right? And this blue cop was all like, yo, this is not funny. This domestic violence thing, I bet to your friend, Lily. And why I drink waters full locals? I have to cook that blue rhino. I know that, tell them funny. You know what happens is they do shit just like me. Entire Beastie Boy does, but what separates me from them is obviously what you know about me, the channel, obviously what I know about anime, alright? But to be confirmed, you know, I'm the best Beastie Boy, literally of all time. Literally, because what Beastie is that you're a beast. Literally, you dance Brigley every single time, literally. And that guy, literally, I do the best one. His name was Alex. Literally, not the other one, Larry, the one with the square head. Literally, I do everything about Beastie Boy. And matter of fact, literally, that's one of the things. Literally, one time, you know, and Larry tried signing for Beastie Boys, they call it asexual. I'm telling you, I know everything, literally, and that's why they're idiots, because they stay like that and they never go out, literally, with the psychedelic shit. Like, I know, the whole thing, all right? Alright, literally, and their female validation is even worse. Not one of them that's the thing about foundation. Literally, my woman call out shit. Literally, fucking Shannon, you know, Allie, literally, Ashley, all those girls fucking call out shit. Literally, so when it comes to Beastie, you know, Freddie Gibson, literally, my level of Beastie, literally, is me and Britney, alright? Literally, you see how it's Freddie Gibson, you know, in the movie with Britney, alright? Literally, that's the whole thing, okay? So, literally, my Beastie, is actually, you know, pure maximum. Alright? Now, the thing outside my Beastie is what I know about punk rock. So anyway, when it comes to the movie Freddie Gibson West Side Story, I'm faster. Literally, I have all the girls literally in the universe. Literally, and what Tommy was good at is he was just as good in the limelight. And who he is today, you know who he is in time. You know who he is as a person. He is one person, literally, who wore those fucking green Vans in high school. He just had one pair of Vans. My high school had a whole bunch of them. All right, literally. So that's saying literally, Beastie Boys literally are horrible. You know, where it comes to let it come to you. They're horrible where it comes to not partying over real shit, literally. They never have the National Geographic. But what they do have is a complex storyline. Because think of literally what the fuck, who you're hitting up to this day. Uncle David, king of the Beastie Boy. Literally, it's a real thing of fucking time. I know everything about it. And I couldn't fight back on my mother. Fuck this shit, literally. Don't ever put me in a masculine situation, literally fucking, oh my God. Oh my God. And there it goes again. But that's truth. Literally, my Beastie is so extreme because I have all those girls that have meaning. Literally, but how I come back, literally, the media. Well, I'm like, let Auntie Lisa fall. Literally, while I'm the same level as Anakin Skywalker. That's maximum Beastie. Literally, in fact, it really blows the Beastie's mind, all right? Literally, so you're trapped in a situation where I see a fucking barrage of this one guy who's a fucking dolphin, literally, in a fucking fish tank, literally. And my gym partner's a fucking monkey. Literally say, let the Auntie fall. Oh, see, ask me to go to school. And literally, I see all that shit, literally. So I'm a true Beastie Boy.